And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will be discussing how I am seeing so many men primarily defending Brother Polight and stating that he is innocent in some way and that the mother is trying to frame him, that the mother is trying to set him up because he is wealthy, because he has money, and that a lot of us are going to look stupid. They are trying to somehow blame the victim. They are blaming the mother. And it is disgusting to sit back here and read the comments. These comments are troubling for me, which is why I've been bewildered all day for the past 2 days, that there's so much history that precedes this case with Polight exhibiting predatory behavior, being predatory towards scheming and scamming Black people, grooming young girls, his right-hand man accusing him of running off with an underage girl, him being linked to the quote-unquote the shaman looking guy, right? The divine madman, who he's being accused of sexually assaulting women. The fact that he looks at Dr. York as his god. And we know Dr. York pled guilty to sexually abusing children and bringing children across state lines for sexual purposes and racketeering charges. He didn't get convicted. Dr. York pled guilty. So when I sit here and I look at you people trying to defend him, I say to myself, how? I want you to understand that these are not accusations. These are charges that he is facing right now. And you make it so hard for victims to come forward, because look what they have to go through. Look at the level of scrutiny the victim has to go through. Here's a fact. In June, a DNA warrant was issued for Brother Polight's DNA. They then took that man's DNA and they tested that DNA. This isn't hearsay. This is a part of the report. And that DNA matched the DNA that was on a 14-year-old girl. Not hearsay. DNA. Oh, by the way, the DNA that was on the 14-year-old girl's face, collar, and scarf was semen. How can your semen get on a 14-year-old girl's face, scarf, and collar unless something sexual was going on? Now understand that the mother, this wasn't, like I said earlier, this isn't some strange man that the mother just met and she's starstruck or she's trying to get a bag. This is a woman that, based upon the reports, allegedly was dating Brother Polight and dealing with Brother Polight for over a year. Right? Think about this for a second. I really want you to think about this. Now, Percy, I'm going to remove you because this is not about being personal. It's about highlighting a pattern of behavior here and giving you guys the information so that you can see that there's a problem in our community and that there's a lot of rapists and rape sympathizers, people who are sympathizing with rapists, I mean. You have to think about these people who are sympathizing with Polight. These are people who babysit your child. your children. They're your daughter's soccer coach, your son's basketball coach. These are people that are within your community that know about these things, that have known about these things, that have seen these things, and they turn a blind eye to it. So now you have to start saying to yourself, and especially you black women, I feel for you, because effectively what they're saying is that if you're dating a man, you can't leave your child alone with that man because that man will rape your child, and then you will be at fault. If a black woman can't trust her child to be alone around her boyfriend, then why should black women date black men? See, when you start really thinking about this and really breaking this down, and don't worry, we're going to get into the Jesse Lee Peterson interview, because I believe that, again, there's so many things that you can link to Polight with grooming underage girls and coercing underage girls. That's a problem. Look at these statistics right here. See, people try to make it like this is some isolated incident. It says, for every black woman who reports rape, at least 15 black women do not report. So for every one woman that is raped, at least 15 don't even report it. 1 in 4 black girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 5 black women are survivors of rape. 35% of black women experience some form of contact sexual violence during their lifetime. 40 to 60% of black women report being subjected to coercive sexual contact by the age of 18. 17% of black women experience sexual violence other than rape by an intimate partner during their lifetime. Are you looking at the data? Are you not seeing that that's a problem to have those type of statistics in your community? And then somehow put the blame on the mother? No, how about you put the blame on the rapist? How about you put the blame on the sexual abuser? I want you to really think about that. These are not accusations. These are charges that are in the system right now that he's facing. He has a court date coming up on September 15th. There was a DNA warrant issued in June. The DNA matched, which is why they arrested him and made him turn himself in. I want you to think about this, right? Now, Tasha K played an audio during her broadcast a couple days ago. I want you to listen what the wife on the left states. This is Riot. I want you to listen to her talk about how she met Polight and how old she was when she met Polight. Follow me here.
For her and for us.
Were you surprised when here you are in the bookstore and the owner walks over to you and says, "Hey, I'm looking for a second wife. What do you think?" Were you surprised?
That's exactly how it happened. But yes, I was.
So
it's not something that.
Surprised when you
Beneficial for her and for us.
Were you surprised when here you are in the bookstore and the owner walks over to you and says, "Hey, I'm looking for a second wife. What do you think?" Were you surprised?
That's exactly how it happened. But yes, I was.
So
it's not something that you're exposed to.
Right, that's right.
Initially, like we don't learn this in school.
Right. And so, what was your first impression? Your first thought when you
The first thought I actually had was I was just like, does she know?
Right.
That was my first thought. It was natural because
That's right.
when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And,
That's right.
when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore
Were you?
because
That's right.
when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore.
Don't worry, we're going to keep emphasizing that and build on this. See, Jesse Lee, he's a coon like me. He's an agent like me. And Jesse Lee Peterson, he's masterful at what he does. Because he's sitting there and he's looking at this. And he's letting Polight and the wives expose themselves. Because he's looking at that shit and he's saying, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Now, she sits up here and she says, I was really young, right? Because, see, Jesse Lee Peterson, right? See, us coons, we could all day long just pick you hoteps apart. From your spirituality, from the way you think, from your predatory ways. It's so easy, because you niggas are dumb. Jesse Lee Peterson is setting the trap, and they're falling right into it. Because Jesse Lee Peterson asked her, you didn't feel uncomfortable, starstruck, when the owner of the bookstore is coming to talk to you? And you've been coming there as a young girl? Now, this is his wife now. See, this is the grooming that happens. This is the predatory nature that happens. Where Polight has the bookstore. And this young lady and young girl, she's a young lady here, but this young girl at that time is coming to the bookstore with the mother to get knowledge. While the owner of the bookstore is looking at her like, damn, she might be a good wife. Right? Bookstore. He owned a bookstore back in the day. Don't worry, we're going to get to that. And she would come there with the mom. And the whole time, while she was coming there with the mom, well, the Polight was sitting there rubbing his hands like Birdman. She said, I was really young. But then she had to catch herself, right? And she slipped. Oh, I was 16 or 17. Understand that bookstore is between 10 and 12 years ago when he owned the bookstore. Follow me here. It's not complicated, right? He claims to be 38 years old. I don't believe he's 38 years old. I believe he's older than 38 years old. But based upon the reports that we have, we know his birthday just happened on August 10th. So if he's 38 and we subtract 12 at the most, that would mean that he was 6 years old? Somewhere in the ballpark? While she was 16? So we have a 26-year-old who owned a bookstore preying on the 16-year-old that was coming to the bookstore with the mother. Pattern of behavior. I'm not making this up. They're saying it. Pattern of behavior. And Jesse Lee Peterson, listen to the tone. Because Jesse Peterson's looking at, he's saying, that, you sure you was okay with that? How did you feel when the owner was talking to you? Because Jesse Lee Peterson can see, that shit don't look right. That shit don't sound right. Let's play it again.
Bookstore. Does she know?
You think? And the owner walks over to you and says, hey.
Or something that could be mutually beneficial for her and for us.
Were you surprised when here you are in the bookstore and the owner walks over to you and says, hey, I'm looking for a second wife. What do you think? Were you surprised?
That's not exactly how it happened, but yes, I was.
So
it's not something that you're exposed to
Right, that's right.
initially. Like we don't learn this in school.
Right. And so what was your first impression, your first thought when
The
he asked
first
it?
the first thought I actually had was I was just like, does she know?
Right.
That was my first thought, which is
Right.
natural because
That's right.
when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And so I seen them two together and I was just like really happy for them. She was pregnant and she looked gorgeous. Like she just was this dark African looking queen with her afro, you know, and I was just like, wow, you know, so that was the first thought I had. I was just like, does she know, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much the first thought.
And then so he says, yes, she knows. And you say, okay, let's talk, the three of you? Or did you just bring her home?
No.
Oh, what we did, we all talked. I, of course, got permission from my wife, Aminette, to engage her and present the idea to her. And then we all eventually talked after I spoke to her, and we had a meeting.
Are you guys like legally married or you just say wife?
Oh, of course, bigamy is against the law, but I have contracts with each of my wives.
With the wife, okay. Were you surprised when your wife said yes to a second wife?
No, I wasn't surprised.
See, I love Jesse Lee Peterson because, see, you see how he's doing the interview? You see how he's conducting the interview? How he's asking questions and he's probing and he's letting them fall for the trap? Because, see, us coons, man, we're powerful. See, you Hotep back to Africa, red, black, and green B1s, your intelligence, you're not intelligent to us. And see, what he's doing is Jesse Lee Peterson's really mocking them, right? But he's so vain. He has so much vanity. He doesn't even realize that Jesse Lee Peterson is mocking him. He doesn't even realize that he's being mocked. And if you look at the body language of when she slipped up and she said 16, 17, I was really young. People here talking about, oh, they was consenting. 16-year-olds consenting to sex with a 26-year-old? You don't look at that as predatory? Owner of a bookstore, hovering over the daughter at the bookstore. You don't see a problem. A mom brings her daughter to the bookstore. You don't see a problem with that. Right? You don't see a problem with that. But don't worry, because see, now we have Sarnetta making the accusation. We're going to go back to Jesse Lee Peterson because Jesse Lee Peterson is just letting you Hotep set your trap, right? Because you niggas just love to talk. You just love to yap your mouth, right? Because you think people are interested in you, when in reality, people are really shocked at just how low your morality is and how low you'll go. And he's so vain, they don't even realize that they're trapping themselves.
That Sarnetta talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renentet? You ain't calling her your daughter, are you?
So, who is Renentet? Well, I start digging. This is Renentet right here. See, I thought Riot was Renentet. No, this is Renentet right here. Now, I want you to look at this girl. Does this girl look like Brother Polight's daughter? He's claiming that this girl on the right here, is his daughter. Does she look like his daughter? This is the girl that Sarnetta, don't worry, we're going to get back to the audio, that Sarnetta said Polight allegedly ran off with. Does that girl look like Brother Polight's daughter? Does she look like the daughter? Because here we got Brother Polight's daughter. Right here, we have a pitch of his real daughter. Right? Right? Smayat. She looks like Polight. She has his features. So here we have the biological daughter And then here we have Renintet. This is, now she's going to acknowledge that she's 16 years old in this video. This video is from May 13th, 2013. Right? Now look what this person says. Lida J saying that's his daughter. How is Renintet his daughter? Biologically. It's not his daughter. That's his daughter? You believe that this girl right here, that on the right, you believe that biologically that's his daughter? Right? Now a person says it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter that this girl ran away from home with him? Why doesn't it matter? See, I want you women who have daughters, I want you to look at the chat and I want you to look at the things that the women are in here saying. I mean, the men are saying. I want you to look at these comments. I want you to look at the chat. I want you to look at that. All right? I want y'all guys to look. I want you to look at the things that are being said in the chat. And then listen to what Sarnetta is talking about, right? Because see, these things that I have the receipts to show you that there's a pattern of behavior here of being a predator.
Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga. Little fucking Dr. York. You ain't talking about her, right? The one that you call Renintet. Huh? Nigga, that ain't your daughter, nigga. Cut it out. Don't make me bring her sister right here in front of me.
This is his right-hand man, Sarnetta, saying, nigga, that's not your daughter. He's saying that this girl right here is not his daughter. Yet here it says Polight's daughters. That girl is not biologically his daughter. She's not. She's not. But see, it amazes me how you can have a conscious community that's aware of this and allow this man to flaunt this and behave this way. Right? Now, let's listen to these young girls start speaking. I want you to listen to the young girls start talking. And I want you to watch how he's talking to them and how he's coercing them and leading them in a direction. This is the grooming. This is how it starts. Listen to the things that these young girls are saying and how he's talking to them.
Do you see the
strong opinion people I've ever met.
That's right. Do you see any benefits as far as you as children? Are y'all suffering? Because people feel sorry for you. I mean, they're on YouTube feeling sorry for you girls. Do you think?
Why? Because we living way better than
No, I'm just saying. You gotta be a little bit more, my baby.
Hey, nah, you know what?
I like that because they need to
put that boot on their neck, them black power boots. Put on them big black power boots and put it on their neck.
Some people need a reality check. Like, look at your life. Why are you focusing over here? Like, you need to fix what's going on in your life first before you even want to.
You want to destroy happy people's lives. Maybe this should be our reality TV show called Happy Housewives. Yeah, so back to what you were saying. Boo-hoo, you get to live in the mansion. Damn. Oh, they really feeling sorry for you guys. Y'all just went shopping, right?
Yes.
And did we spend over $3,000 in cash?
Way more than that.
And 3 days in a row. How much money did we spend in those 3 days in a row eating at that restaurant?
Bills was like $400.
It was like
About $1,500 to be exact. $500 each night. $500 each night. So, yeah, y'all really looking bad out there. I mean,
Our lives are horrible.
you. So, over $3,000 spent on new clothes and $500 each time the family goes out to eat 3 days back to back. Shit, man. Poverty is a bitch. So, tell me something. Based on what you see playing out in this relationship, right? Are you confident that you one day will meet somebody and that you can have the same impression on your children?
Definitely.
Do you want your children to live like this?
Yes.
You sure you don't? You sure you want them to suffer like this?
They are gonna live a really good life.
That's right. Do you guys presently have your own property?
Yep.
That is a beautiful thing. Renata, do you presently have your own car at 16? And your own property?
So where do you guys there's a
I think.
So he's saying, see, this is the grooming right here. This is the grooming. He's talking to her and he's saying at 16, don't you have your own car? He's talking about when they get a man, that their man should be able to have the material things and things that he has. Right? Notice how they laughed about how good their lives are because they have material things. You can't see that. Now remember, this girl right here on the right is the girl that Sonetta said he ran off with. Right? This is the girl that he ran off with. See, there's a pattern of behavior here. There's a pattern of behavior here. And if you can't see that, then you are part of the problem. And see, this is why, again, when we go back to these statistics right here, this is why this data is the way it is in our community. Because you'll see these things right in your face and you'll turn a blind eye to it. Right? For every black woman who reports rape, at least 15 black women do not report. 1 in 4 black girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 5 black women are survivors of rape. 35% of black women experience some form of contact sexual violence during their lifetimes. 40 to 60% of black women report being subjected to coercive sexual contact by the age of 18. So then now I have you disgusting perverts and pedophiles coming onto my video and trying to convince me that somehow the mother was able to plant DNA evidence from Polight onto the daughter's face, onto her scarf, and onto her collar. Right? I want to take a step back, and I want you to think about the level of mental gymnastics that you would have to perform on yourself to reach that conclusion and to arrive at that conclusion. You're telling me that based upon the reports, allegedly Polight and the mother have been dealing with each other for a year. And they've been fucking with each other for a year, but they're going to still be using condoms a year later. And somehow Polight came inside of the condom, took the condom off, and left it laying around so the mother could get her hands on that condom. And somehow the mother then was able to turn the condom inside out while her daughter is sitting there and smear the semen that was in the condom. And I want to be graphic because I want to show you how disgusting you Polight defenders are. That she's going to smear the used condom with semen on her daughter's face, on her daughter's scarf, and on her daughter's clothing. And then she proceeds to drugging her daughter and giving her daughter alcohol. And then she busts the daughter in the face and swells up her lips. And then after she does all of that, the mother is bold enough to then go to the hospital and have them perform a rape kit on the little girl. How could you even concoct some sick shit like that in your mind? How can you concoct some sick shit like that in your mind? It just goes to show you, and like I said before, I want you women in the chat, I want you to see and read these comments of these polite supporters and sympathizers. Your DNA under no circumstances should be on a 14-year-old. There's no way your DNA, your semen should be on no 14-year-old. There's no reason why a man should be, think about this. Polight, the mother and the daughter, they have a hotel room over here. Why, when allegedly based upon Polight's side, if you were trying to go to Club 11 and it was closed, why would you then go get a separate hotel room? If you, the mother and the daughter, are over here at one hotel, why would you then go get a separate hotel and bring the daughter to the separate hotel? Why wouldn't you just take the daughter back home? Or why wouldn't you get the daughter the Uber back to the original hotel? Why would you want to be around and alone with the girl in a separate hotel? See, common sense is deadly. Common sense is not complicated. It's not complicated at all. Now, look what God Yahya said. Explain how he got a $1,000 bill, a bond. Why do I have to explain why he has a $1,000 bond? That's not for me to explain. Right? I want him to explain to me why Sonetta accused him of running off with an underage or young girl. I want to know, I want you to tell me, why would your friend accuse you of running off with this girl right here, who you say is your daughter, but we can look at her and clearly see that she's biologically not your daughter? I want you to explain that to me. I want you to explain to me how you were in this video here with this young woman, and this young woman's talking about meeting you when she was very, very young. And now that young woman that you met when she was really, really young now ends up becoming your wife. Right? See, these are the kind of conversations and things that I want to talk about. Right? See, these are the things that if you use your brain, because Jesse Lee Peterson's using his brain, and he's looking at that and he's saying, what I'm listening to right now don't make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. So now, God, Yahya. The reason why I'm spending my energy on Polight, and don't worry, I'm going to get back to talking about crypto and the economy and business. The reason why is because, see, I understand why this is happening. Because people that have platforms don't speak about this. See, I'm understanding now, and what's shocking to me while I'm covering it, I never knew that so many black men were pedophiles and perverts. Right? I never knew the statistics about what black women have to go through. Right? Because I have common sense and logic, I assume everyone else has common sense and logic. But what I'm beginning to realize is that a lot of you don't have common sense and logic. That's what I'm starting to see. And it's scary to me to think about how you can see people defending this predatory behavior and saying, oh, she's 16, she's consenting. I mean, she's consenting because she's 16, so she consented. Right? We're talking about 30-plus-year-old man grooming 16-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 14-year-olds, and somehow, you somehow in your mind, you think that a 16-year-old can consent. See, it go again, like I said before, you women, I want you see, let me explain something to you. These black men, they use knowledge to trick you because they're deceivers. They're masters of technology. And they want to lead with this new ageism and this new information that's going to liberate you. But in reality, they want to take you away from your spirituality and take you away from God because they want to become your God. See, they want to break you down so that they can then build you back up. But they want to build you back up to be their whore. They want to build you back up to be their servant, to be their slave, to breed their children so that they can then go fuck your daughter and go rape your daughter. That's what these niggas want to do. They don't want to liberate you. They don't look at you as a god. They don't look at you as a queen. They look at you as their whore that they can walk over so that you can have their children and then they can go and fuck your kid. That's what they want to do. And then because they can't control themselves sexually because they're predators that prey on children, they then turn around and blame you. And they say, well, why was she dressed like that? Why was she alone with him? Why was she walking that way? Why did the mother let her go alone with a man to a club? How about men shouldn't fuck 14-year-olds? They shouldn't try to stick their penis down 14-year-olds' throats. Right? But again, they want to take you from you. This is why that whole platform is about taking you away from your spirituality. This is why they go against Jesus and Islam and religion so hard, because they want to make you spiritually and morally bankrupt. So then therefore now you can become a sexual deviant. These are sex cults. His master teacher is Dr. York. He has been groomed to be a sex cult leader, which is what he's doing. And don't worry, we're going to get to that as well. He is a sex cult leader. They are masking polygamy as nation building. It's really to feed their sexual desires. That's all it's about. It is not about nation building. What has Brother Polight built? You keep talking about, oh man, Brother Polight, he's a genius. He's intelligent. Look at this. Look at this platform. I want you to look at this page. Does this look revolutionary? A nigga playing cosplay? You think that this is a threat to white supremacy? Hanging out with a bunch of hoes and thoughts? You think Elon Musk is sitting around worried about a nigga called Brother Polight, Brother Cavity Loke from Brownsville? You think white supremacy is afraid of this? A low budget ass wannabe celebrity rapper? You think what's revolutionary about red bottoms? What's revolutionary about a red bottom hat? What's revolutionary about having some hoes posted up on a car? Ain't shit revolutionary about that. Let me show you what's revolutionary. Let me show you revolutionary. Right? This is revolutionary right here. This is what Elon Musk is working on. Elon Musk is working on creating robots, artificial intelligence, going to Mars, putting man up on Mars. Right? Merging man with machine. And you sitting up here, Brother Polight, he's a genius. He's smart. Nigga ain't building nothing. Ain't accomplishing nothing. We're going through the fourth industrial revolution, through the Great Reset, and you sitting here telling me that Brother Polight is brilliant. Because why? He can make you walk away from your God. He can make you be a sexual deviant. He can make you be a pervert and a pedophile. And you telling me that's genius? That's wicked. Ain't shit about that genius. You really think the elites are sitting around saying, damn, we worried about Cavity Loke? They about to colonize Mars. Come on, man. You got to look at this and just laugh. Look at what's coming. Look at what's coming down the pipeline. Look at these. Look at iRobot coming to take your job. And you sitting up here telling me, oh, they just trying to take a black man down because he's wealthy. You think they care about wealth when they print the money? You think the people that run the world, who print money out of thin air, who can digitally send a bunch of ones and zeros from one computer server to another, you think that they worried about money? You think they're worried about material things when they create the money and they print the money? This is how dumb and sleep you woke niggas are. You think Elon Musk, who's a billionaire, feels threatened by that? By this right here? Nobody feels threatened about this. Nobody's threatened by no pervert, weirdo, pedophile. And I want, like I said earlier, right? And I want to sit here and I want you to look at this. I want you to look at the women now. Look at them now. Look at the weaves. Look at the luxury. Look at the designer. Look at the, right? They don't want to be like the white man. They don't want to be like the European, but as soon as they get their hands on some money, they're dressing like the European and they run off and go live in a white neighborhood. Look at how they were dressed back then. Look at the afro. Right? Let's go here. Right? Look at Riot then. Look at her. Look at her back then. Afro, natural. Look at her. And then, boom. Soon as they get some money, right? Soon as they get some money, wow, look at her now. And you think that they're worried about this? Come on. As soon as they get their hands on a little bit of money, now it's about designer. Now it's about Red Bottom, Gucci, Chanel, Fendi, Rolls Royces. What happened to not washing your ass? What happened to the chakras that you believed in? Right? Remember? Y'all didn't brush your teeth because that was the white man's creation. And toothpaste is white. I'm not going to put that in my mouth. Right? Notice that these hoteps, when they broke, oh, that's Eurocentric. I don't want to be like the European. Right? I don't wear no deodorant. Sitting there funky as a motherfucker. Not brushing their teeth, breath stinking, smelling like ass. Because listen, we don't do that back in Kemet. We ain't do that. But then as soon as they get their hands on some money, pew, now they washing, now they bathing, now they getting their hair done, now they get their teeth fixed, right? Now they're not funky no more, right? Now they driving Rolls Royces. And you women allow these men to prey on you that way. They prey on you. Oh, you shouldn't have you be natural. Be funky like me. Don't wash your ass. And then boom. Soon as Cavity, where's it at? Soon as Cavity gets some money, find this video. Right? Where's right? Where's brother Cavity at? I want to find this. Where I put the video at? When Cavity got a little bit of money. Damn, I can't find the video where he's with the white woman. Oh, here we go. Right here. Soon as Cavity got some money, right? Where's the video at? Here we go. Right here. Look at Cavity. Look at Cavity with the white woman. Soon as Cavity got some money, look at Cavity. Look at Cavity with the white woman. Whoa, Cavity. Cavity. What you doing with the white woman? White woman with a wave? Blonde hair? Wow. Just look at how hypocritical it is. Right? Now you got the white thotty in the video. Look at that. Ooh. Look at that. Got the white woman now. What happened to the black woman is God? Ooh. You go, Cavity. When it got that white woman. When it got that white woman. That's what he went and did. right? And I love what Zion Lex said. Look at this. Look at this right here. I want you, this is Polight right here. And shout out to Zion Lex. This is Zion Lex video. Go check him out. This is consciousness. Now listen, I like dots. I'm not, ain't nothing wrong with playing around with the strippers. But this your leader? This your conscious leader doing this? Look at your conscious leader. Wow. Wow. Ooh, okay. Black woman is God. Look at the God. Come on, man. Come on, man. You just let people sell you anything. You let them give you anything. You don't hold them accountable. They can say anything they can do. So this week, they can be an Egyptologist, back to the ancestors, want to be P. Newton, want to be a revolutionary, and then now they're a rapper and actor. Right? Now they're a rapper and they're an actor, an actress. Doesn't matter. Like, it's laughable. Now, again, remember, this ain't my standard that I'm setting. I don't mind you turning up. I like to turn up. I like to party. Y'all follow me on Instagram. Y'all see me. I'll be out partying. I'm going to be out tonight partying, having me a good time. But I'm not going around here telling black people how they should live. I'm not going around here telling you that the white man is the devil, but then turn around and I'm riding around in a car with a white woman. See, I'm not being hypocritical. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not telling you that that money is the devil, but then turn around and say money is my God. See, I ain't doing that. That's what they're doing. Go back to this Jesse Lee Peterson interview.
Right. And so what was your first impression, your first thought when you asked it?
The first thought I actually had was, I was just like, does she know?
Right.
That was my first thought. It was natural because
That's right.
when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And so when I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And so I seen them two together and I was just like really happy for them. She was pregnant and she looked gorgeous. Like, she just was this dark African looking queen with her afro, you know, and I was just like, wow, you know, so that was the first thought I had. I was just like, does she know, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much the first thought.
And then so he says, yes, she knows. And you say, okay, let's talk, the three of you? Or did you just bring her home?
No.
Oh, what we did, we all talked. I, of course, got permission from my wife, Aminette, to
Remember, because I know some of you are just tuning in, you're like, what is this? Polight owned a bookstore. Her mother, Rayet's mother, would bring her to the bookstore to get knowledge, right? Because a lot of black people, you're looking for knowledge of self. And then the owner of the bookstore was sitting there, like I said, rubbing his hands like Birdman, like, oh, I like that. And then the really, really young girl that used to come to the bookstore becomes one of their wives. That's grooming. That's predatory. See, this is why they want to start schools for young black boys. This is why they want to teach corner classes. They want access to your children. They want influence and control over your children. So see, when they talk about nation building, they're not trying to nation build. They're trying to build a cult, a sex cult, so they can be sexual deviants. It's not they use the knowledge to lure you in so that you can bring your children, so that they can prey on your children. That's what it's about. It's all about getting to your baby. It ain't about liberating the black community. It ain't about building no school for no boys. It's about getting up in your boys, about getting up in your daughter. It's grooming. That's what it's about.
Engage her and present the idea to her. And then we all eventually talked after I spoke to her, and we had a meeting.
Are you guys like legally married, or you just say wife?
Oh, of course, bigamy is against the law, but I have contracts with each of my wives.
With the wife, okay. Were you surprised when your wife said yes to a second wife?
No, I wasn't surprised. What I would say is I would be surprised some years prior.
Right.
Because that definitely wouldn't have been her disposition.
So you meet her, and then what happened in your mind? You're like, this is a good one to be with?
Well, actually, yes, because like they mentioned, she has been coming around to the bookstore for years before we even consider her as a co-wife.
Now, you see how she clears it up? Because she realized, like, whoa, if you go back and you watch her eyes, so now she's like, oh yeah, she's been coming around for a few years. So basically trying to clear the air, like, well, when we finally made her a wife, she was of age. You see how she tries to clear it up? But think about it. Again, we're showing a pattern of behavior that even if, let's play hypothetical, that you waited to make her your wife when she was of age to engage her, if you want us to believe that, it still shows the grooming process is what it shows. It shows the grooming because you had the bookstore and you were looking at her and watching her. See, Woody Allen, who's an actor, he adopted a girl, and then the girl that he adopted ended up becoming his wife. Right? So it shows that Cavity was sitting up in there. He was like, keep bringing your daughter to this bookstore. Right? And he would make little gestures and say, hey, baby, hey, how's it going? You looking nice today. You looking good today. Did you read that book, right? Grooming them. Right? Now look at this. Tyrell Kington says, why are you putting everyone in the community in a box? You know why I'm putting you in a box? This is why I'm putting most of you in a box. Because if you go look at my comments and you go and you look at the shit that you are posting, it's more of you that are defending Polight than are going against Polight. If you look at the fact that this interview happened 4 years ago, that's a problem. If you look at the fact that the Zulu Nation was able to abuse boys, African Bambaataa, and you watch KRS-One defend them. If you look at what happened with the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad, if you look at the Nuwabians, if you look at Yahweh ben Yahweh, and then you watch this keep happening over and over and over and over again, and people still bring Polight on platforms and let them come and speak. That means a majority of you or a large percentage of you agree with that. So I have to put you in a box because you are allowing pedophiles and perverts to run rampant in your community. I have to put you in a box when you have statistics and data and information where for every black woman who reports rape, at least 15 black women don't. 1 in 4 black girls will be sexually abused before the age of 18. That means that that's a problem. That's a serious problem. That's an epidemic in your community. So I have to put you in that because if it wasn't a lot of you that are perverts and pedophiles, this data and numbers, they wouldn't be like this. You wouldn't have 1 in 5 black women being survivors of rape if it wasn't a problem in your community, if it wasn't a lot of you raping black women. So don't tell me why am I putting you in a box, because a majority of you or a large percentage of you are rapists, are pedophiles, and are perverts. That's why I put you in a box. And many of you who wear these funny ass costumes, right? Who talk about this back to nature bullshit, who draw this stupid shit underneath your fucking eye, who talk about this new age shit, use that to go out here and prey on vulnerable women. That's why. That's why. Tyrell Knightham, because many of you are fucking perverts and you are pedophiles. And it is shocking to me. It is scary to me, right? It's scary to me. Well, I can't wait for us to get into this video right here, right? Oh, this video right here with Master Natayama Oh, by the way, is a new covenant member who's teaching you about orgasmic sex without touching, right? Look at this coat. Look at this shit. Don't tell me why am I lumping y'all in. Y'all sat back and y'all was at these presentations. Y'all listen to this weirdo shit. And he gonna come on Sonetta and say he's not a weirdo. Well, wait till we get to that portion with this fucking weird shit. You gonna tell me why am I saying that? Because you are pedophiles and y'all perverts. That's why I say it. That's why I'm saying it. Because if you wasn't, you would not be at these lectures. You would not be turning into the house of consciousness. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So I have to lump y'all in there because there's no urgency amongst any of you. Outside of someone like Zion Lex, who's been speaking out about, I haven't really seen a lot of you banging on Polight. Where was all of this energy before? The community was quiet. When Sonetta made those accusations to Polight should have been canceled. That was 3 years ago. Come on. Makes no sense to me. It just did this shit makes no sense to me. Come on, man. It just makes no sense. And by the way, for those of you who want to know who Dr. York is, look at Dr. York here. This is Dr. York pleading guilty to child sex crimes, right? Not convicted. It's not like he went to trial. He pled guilty. Let's listen to it. This is Polight's master teacher, Dr. York.
That you're charged with 34 counts of child molestation, that you could receive a maximum.
He's charged with 34 counts of child abuse. Listen to it.
Sentence of 34 30 years in confinement for each count, that you're charged with 34 counts of child molestation, that you could receive a
34 counts of child molestation. And he pled guilty.
The maximum sentence of 20 years in confinement for each count. That you're charged with 1 count of sexual exploitation of children, you could receive a maximum sentence of 20 years in confinement. And you're charged with 2 counts of influencing witnesses, and you could receive a maximum sentence of 10 years in confinement for each count. And that you could receive a minimum sentence overall of 10 years on probation. I'm telling you the most and the least. You understand that?
Actually, Your Honor, it would be 10 years. Aggravated child molestation.
But on them would be 10 years. You understand that? You understand you have a right to an attorney, and in fact, your lawyer, Mr. Aurora, is here with you and representing you. Is that correct? I'm going to inform you of certain other rights that you have, Mr. York, and inform you of the fact that if you plead guilty, you give up these rights. You have a right to trial by jury. You're presumed to be innocent. You have a right to confront any witnesses the state presents against you. You have a right to subpoena any witnesses you want to appear and testify for you. You have a right to testify and offer other evidence if you want to. You have a right to the assistance of an attorney during the trial. You have a right not to incriminate yourself. You have a right to plead not guilty or remain silent, not in any plea, and in either case automatically obtain a jury trial. You understand these rights, and understand if you plead guilty, you give up these rights. You heard the recommendation the state made. Is that the recommendation you understood the state would make? Did you, in fact, do what the district attorney, Mr. Bright, told me you did? How do you plead, guilty or not guilty, as to all the indictments that were cited by the district?
Dr. York pled guilty. Dr. York pled guilty to 34 counts of child molestation. He did not get convicted. He pled guilty. Who is Dr. York? See, there's a pattern of behavior here. Don't come here and tell me that we got to wait for the evidence. Let's listen to what. This is when he was the last, Bruce Leroy from Enter the Last Dragon, right? This Polight right here on the bench, talking to one of the sex abusers. Let's listen to what Polight has to say about Dr. York.
false prophets and false messiahs. I would respect a wolf. If I was a sheep, I would respect a wolf that approached me and tried to hunt me down than a wolf that came in sheep clothing.
My whole argument in this whole situation is, should people be locked up based on what people believe? I got the right to be angry. You know why? Because the Lord promises me something different. The Lord promises me that we will lock people up beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's what the Lord promises me.
Yeah. But in this case, it was up to 12 people to have that reasonable doubt or not. And those 12 people made the decision.
It's not. So what's the point?
If you want to fight
it's your matter of opinion if you would have
fight for it for another reason. Don't fight for it because he's innocent of a molesting kid.
Let's say he molested 1,000 children. Factually.
Okay.
Genetic evidence and everything. Things that we don't deny. Scientifically, we say, wow, okay, true. If someone was to ask me, would you still worship him as your Most High, acknowledge him as your Most High God? I would have to. I don't identify with everything he.
Why would you view a man that pled guilty to 34 counts of child molestation as your God, as your Most High? Come on, you can't. When you talking to me, when you speaking to me, you have to speak with some sense. You have to speak with some sense. Dr. York pled guilty. So where are we at so far with the story, right? Let's recap, because we're about to go somewhere next now. So we have him on Jesse Lee Peterson 4 years ago with his wives, Amunette and Ryat, talking about how she used to come to the bookstore. She was really, really young. And then Ryat pops up as his wife. That looks like grooming to me. This is not me. This is what they're saying. Then you have his right-hand man, Sonetta, saying to you that he ran off with Rintentet. And then we listen to the way he's talking to me, saying, you're not starving, are you? Your life's good, right? Because they have material things. Grooming. It's a behavior. So how could it be far-fetched that if your master teacher was a pedophile and a pervert, if your master teacher went to jail and pled guilty, right? Wouldn't we arrive at the conclusion, if you're a sympathizer for him, and then now all these allegations and accusations are coming out about you, don't you think that it's a problem? And then, boom, we have this, the divine madman inside of Shantam Nityanama's tantric sex cult. Oh, so the Nuwabians were a sex cult. Brother Polight learned from this master teacher there. Now he's a New Covenant member. Oh, don't believe me? I'm making it up. I'm a coon. I'm an agent. Boom. Look at Polight and Nityanama, who, oh, by the way, is being accused of sexually assaulting women. Nityanama. Wow. How does Brother Cavity keep ending up with all of these pedophiles and rapists and sex abusers? How? Look, New Covenant member, head of crown, Shantam Nityanama's tantric mongoose. Ooh, right? This is on I Am Brother Polight's channel. This is in 2013. So now we're going to play the video because Brother Polight told you I ain't no weirdo. Everything in this video checks the weirdo box. Everything, when we watch this video in a couple of seconds, this motherfucking looks weird to me. This don't look like something I would want to be a part of. But let's make it bigger. Let's watch it together, right? He's making a woman orgasm without touching her. Let's look at it.
About sex, but the truth of the matter is bliss comes on its own. First, you got to let go of your suffering unconditionally. That's right. You got to not even care what the rest of the world thinks about what you're going through. Because you know you're unloading, you're unburdening yourself, you're getting rid of years of stuff that you've been carrying around, wondering is there ever going to be a day? But I had to let it go. Yeah. So the brothers see the orgasm. They don't see me being around with these women. They'll cry. Go through all the stuff they got to go through to come back to me as human.
Oh, don't worry. He's going to start crying in a second. He's making her have an orgasm with his hands. Let me tell you something. I'm a freak. I love sex. Had a lot of sex in my life. I ain't never made a woman orgasm by just running my hands over her. I need to learn that, man. I've never heard of no shit like that before, that you could just rub your hands over someone and boom, they just start orgasm. That's weirdo shit. Polight. In my book, right? Boom, we got a box. Motherfucker, that checks the box of being a weirdo. Right? Right? That checks the weirdo box to me. Man, ooh, ooh. And then he starts crying. And she's just sitting there and she's moving. Motherfucker, that's weird shit to me. That checks the box of being a motherfucking weirdo pervert to me. Oh, I ain't, come on, Si, you know me. I'm just with a bunch of big booty, voluptuous women. I don't get down like that. Motherfucker, that's weird to me. New Covenant, this is the type of shit that New Covenant's into. Don't tell me that I'm embellishing and I'm making it up. That's a cult. If you can't see that that's a sex cult, what does that have to do with liberating black people? How is rubbing your hands over a woman and releasing that chakra helping black people? Is that going to stop Tamir Rice from getting gunned down? Is that going to close the racial wealth gap? Help, because I'm a coon, I'm an agent. Fuck do I know, right? Help me understand how that's liberating black people. Come on, man. You can't see this for what it is. Only thing he trying to liberate is some booty. Because see, let me show you how the weirdos go. Let me show you, right? See, he's going to demonstrate to you. And see, she's in on the act, right? Follow me here. So what he's going to do, he's going to make her perform an orgasm, right? And you women that's watching it, you're going to be sitting there like, damn, I want some of that. Right? And then you're going to set up a session with the pervert, with the weirdo, with the pedophile. And then he's going to get you alone. And then he's going to show to you. See, first to start, ain't no touching. This is how to groom you. I'm not going to touch you and I'm going to make you orgasm. Right? Then it's going to graduate to getting you alone. And then he'll say, I got even a more special skill if I touch you. Because see, if I can make you come without touching you, imagine if I touch you. And then you going to sit there because you gullible. You're going to go, oh, okay, yeah, you can touch me. And then before you know it, he's doing all kind of freaky deek perverted shit to you. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Because if he can make her come without touching her, imagine what he's going to do to you. And you sit up there and you go, damn. Yeah, that's knowledge. This ain't no motherfucking knowledge. This is a sex cult. This is perversion. This is being a sexual deviant. That's all. Ain't no knowledge here. There's no knowledge here. Now, let's look at who he is. Don't worry. We're going to come back to the video, right? Because I talked about this earlier. Follow me here, because this is how the sex cult works. Several women have come forward with stories of abuse by Neo-Tantra teacher Shantam Nitiyama, who calls himself the Divine Madman. Women report being sexually violated by him during sessions and trainings. They describe a sex cult environment where Nitiyama's inner circle of women recruit other women to have sex with him and pressure women during trainings to sleep with him. Let's read that line again. They describe a sex cult environment where Nitiyama's inner circle of women, wives, recruit other women to have sex with him and pressure women during trainings to sleep with him. So this is how they use polygamy to be predators, because they go get other women, right, who's in on it, and then they build a bond with you. The women build the bond with you, and this is how they get close to your children. This is how they get close to you. And then they get you alone, and they rape your kids, and they rape you, or they drug you, because they say we doing new age stuff. Drink this potion, drink this herbs, right? Because they're an herbalist. Polight's an herbalist, right? So they concoct some herbs, and then boom, your ass fall asleep. And then next thing you wake up, you got semen and DNA all over you, right? He's curing diabetes, man. He's using the Dr. Sebi diet, right? Giving you that alkaline, giving you those herbs, that potion, gonna cure that diabetes up, cure your lupus. Wow. And before you know it, boom, you knocked out. He gonna cure you, all right. He gonna give you the cure. They're gonna give you that cure. And you don't, man, Polight's a genius. Yeah, you know what? Polight is a genius at making you motherfuckers look as dumb as you look. I give him that. Polight has given me a new perspective on a majority of you so-called conscious back to Africa, red, black, and green, B1 Pan-Africanists. Goddamn. I always held you in low regard. Now I look at you motherfuckers down here, right? You gonna let a guy say he's an herbalist come give you some herbs and you pass out and go to sleep, right? But you gonna tell me I'm a coon, right? Let's listen to him and Polight here talking again back in 2013. And see, you understand, I got so much information that people's been sending me. I could do a 5-hour live stream. I got women who dealt with Polight, but I think that some of that information needs to be given to the authorities. That's what I think should happen.
In fact, many people are not believers, which we don't want them to believe. We want them to become knowers of your art and craft and science. So we're going to go right into it. My brother has been able to give women orgasms without touching them. And not just that, he has also been able to tap into the part of a woman's body found in the throat, which he'll explain, in which case he's able to help her establish an orgasmic experience beyond just the vaginal orifice, but also from the throat. And in turn, having her super elated from the experience. And I want him to expound on this, because not only is he not touching the women, he's been able to have them engage in the orgasmic experience for more than one part of their body. And it's very significant, that particular part of the body, because that has not been taught much.
Brother Cavity, was that what you was doing in the hotel room with the young girl? Allegedly? Could that be what you were trying to do in the hotel room with the 14-year-old girl, Brother Cavity, allegedly? Could you have been trying to give her an orgasm from her throat chakra, allegedly? Brother Cavity Loke? See, you motherfuckers are so woke, you are dumb. You are asleep. Right? Could you have been trying to give that 14-year-old girl the special throat chakra orgasm? Brother Cavity Loke? See, you talking to someone that's highly intelligent. You're not talking to no fool. Could that be what you was doing in that hotel room, that 14-year-old? Could you have been trying to activate the chakra, the throat chakra? And you people, you new age spiritual people, you said, oh man, these people, they teaching you some new age information. Wow. I don't want none of your new age information. I'd rather be a coon. Right? So the indigenous group is okay then? Okay, let's get you out of here. I don't know what you're talking about. Right? Because you just posted, but we get you up out of here because I addressed you earlier, Tyrell. Thanks for the $5. But right, you could go now. You're not, your service is no longer needed because, right? Now think about it. These are the type of people. These are the type of people that are supposed, these are the black men that are supposed to be nation building and protecting the community. These type of men. These type of men, right? The strong alpha males that you black women, you got to submit to these type of men, right? They want to sit up here and they want to debate about the UCC or the BCC or the DCC. No. New Covenant is a cult. Right? Now, I know what you're saying. How can you say that? How can you just make a blanket statement? Well, let's listen to Mr. Polight. Say it out of his own mouth, right? This is not me making this up, right? Let's listen to Polight. Say it out of his mouth. Just go here. Let's go back to this video. And Polight's going to say it for you.
And then we have supreme mathematics, inception of the best of the Pisces, book 105 of our scripture. See, they say, man, you got those brothers, big, strong black men. Y'all complain, we not organized, y'all complain with gang members. So now when people say, yo, when he moved, they moved. And people get upset, yo, that looked like a cult. No, it looked like we organized. And it's clear that there's a fear of black men being organized. No, they moved. And people get upset, yo, that looked like a cult. No, it looked like we organized. And it's clear that there's a fear of black men being organized.
He said it. People say they look like a cult. They don't look like a cult, they organize. Yeah. Organized group of weirdos and perverts and pedophiles. They organize. They are organized to come after you. They organized. So when you see these people commenting in here, right? These are the people. Oh, they organized. They organized to come prey on you. They are organized. Oh, they've been threatening me. People have been inboxing me, posting my address. Oh, they've been threatening me. They organized. They telling me I can't come outside. If I come outside, God damn it, they may make me have an orgasm without touching me. They threatening me. They telling me, man, I better not come outside. They gonna give me some of that tantra. They gonna make me have an orgasm without touching me. It's the weirdo shit, right? Big, strong black men, right? I want you to look at these people in this room and you tell me that don't look like a cult. You tell me that don't look like a cult. Watch this shit. Let's skip ahead a little bit, right? Watch these two men behind them, the bodyguards, right? You think that they here trying to protect the black people from getting scammed and schemed? You think that they sitting here and they trying to protect the community? No, watch it. They play shadow. Watch them. Right? Look at them. They following them back and forth. Look at them. He walked one way, they walk another way. Do these men look like leaders? Do these men look like protectors of black women and children? Or do these look like a bunch of sucker ass niggas? Do these look like a bunch of followers? Do these look like a bunch of just bend over and do whatever Polight say motherfuckers? Or do they look like real men? Do they look like alpha males? Do they look like they can lead and build a nation? Or they look like a bunch of groupies with funny ass costumes on? You take that serious? You take that serious? And look, there's a room full of people in here learning about this. A room full of people learning about the tantra. They learning how to get an orgasm without getting touched. These are adults sitting here listening to this weird old shit. Don't tell me I'm making this up. That's a code. But anyway, let's go back here to him. Right? Let's listen to him, speaking, right? Right? Let's go to where I have an 8-minute mark, right? Let's get to it where he starts talking. I believe it's the 8-minute mark.
With your past. And your past, I have nothing but a...
Well, hold on. I want to make sure I find the right video. Here we go. This is the right one. Right? Now listen, the title is called Master Nitiyama's Orgasm Without Touching. Right? So they were literally This was like a lecture circuit that they were going around doing. That I'm gonna get into this, guys, in a second, but just follow me here. They were going around and lecturing the community, and people were paying to come see this weirdo shit. Follow me.
Role as a man to take her and go over every spot on her body and activate it in order to release the information that she brought to the planet that we as men need in order to carry out while we're here. So if she's never activated, then you just float around. And she's pissed to carry activated in order to and go over every spot on her body and activate it in order to release the information that she brought to the planet that we as men need in order to carry out while we're here.
So I want you to think. So now think about it. This is New Covenant having sex lectures. What was Dr. York running? Sex code. Wow. Wow. You don't see a pattern. You don't see connections. You don't see the connections here. You don't see the problem here. If they're having lectures where they're traveling around talking about sex, and he's talking about they're an organized sex cult. How hard is it to just put 1 + 1 together? Right? Now, address some of these donations. Eagle Backflip says, of all the things the black woman is struggling with, it's the orgasm that is the straight point to sorting it out. You can't make this stuff up. Exactly. They use the oppression that you're going through and they're saying, oh man, you just need more orgasms. We just got to help you get more orgasms. It's a sex cult, right? But they're hiding it as some type of a new age, right? New age that's going to help you grow, right? But they're going to say, I ain't no weirdo. I ain't no weirdo. Come on. A friendly hustler says, that's right. Expose these weirdos. Yeah. The weirdest shit ever. Eagle Backflip says, I want to see the 90 books listed. See him speak 7 languages. His investment account balances. The stuff people believe without evidence is shocking. 100%. 100%. This is the madness that you see up here. Got rid of Tyrell. And I said, I know some of you donated, but it probably already went past. I haven't had a chance to address it. Like, how could you watch this stuff and not say to yourself that this looks weird?
Come in and they feel as much as they can feel it, and they almost like pass out. Sometimes I'm there, let them go in. Let them go at their own pace. Yes. Let them know that somebody's there with them. Yes. I said to my brother, these sisters need you. They need you in a way that you never really showed up for them or yourself.
He's crying while he's doing this too. I just want you to understand. Like, go and watch this video. he's actually crying while he's doing this. And like I said, he's not a weirdo. Right? It says, he teaches that AIDS and sexual diseases are an illusion, so he doesn't use a condom. Nitiyama has no lineage or teacher other than having spent time in Osho's ashram. Forgive me if I said that incorrectly. He lives in Australia in a home with 10 women, polygamy, who service him sexually and work for free. He says several crazy women have lawsuits against him, and he'll be arrested if he returned to the U.S., says a former member. Let's read that again. He says several crazy women have lawsuits against him, and he'll be arrested if he returned to the U.S., says a former member. Right? It says, when Ashley Morgan, not her real name, went to Shantam Nitiyama for a healing session, right? Healing session. She believed it consists primarily of energy work based on what she read on his website. She wanted to learn about tantra and had put a lot of trust in him, giving his status as a teacher. Ashley said the session started immediately when he entered the room. He didn't explain what would happen, discuss boundaries, ask her about her background, or ask her consent to touch her sexually. Rather, he walked in and began a 30-minute orgasmic hug. Then he moved to the bed, where he used a variety of energy techniques along her spine and body. And I'm not laughing at the assault stuff. I'm laughing about how just silly this shit is. Like, what adult would even want to go to some shit like this? It just doesn't make sense. After about 3 hours, he told her it was time to undress. Once she got naked and laid on a table, he consulted with his obies, a voodoo divination device, and then turned to her and said, apparently, I don't need to penetrate you. What the fuck? Like, he just got a device there and he's like, oh, do I need to penetrate her or not, device? Shake it up. Oh, no, I ain't got to penetrate you. Like, what the fuck? I can't believe that this is what woke people really are into. Right? like the machine said I don't need to penetrate you, so I'm not. He asked her, oh, hold on. She didn't know why he said he didn't need to penetrate her. He asked her if she was married or had a boyfriend. She said he made it seem like he was trying to figure out why the OBs said no penetration. During the session, she says he sexually violated her. So he just sit up there, I shave my brother and sister. Oh man. It said, I can't penetrate you. Then he shook it again. Oh, I gotta shake it more. You got a husband? Damn, why this thing won't let me penetrate her? This is perversion. This is sick. This is sick beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. It is crazy. Now, back to Jesse Lee Peterson, because see, I love this interview that Jesse Lee Peterson was able to do. I want to go to the 9-minute mark when he starts asking him about having sex with all of these women. How do you do it? Follow me here.
So it's not like, a random person.
So I was thinking, I was watching the video,
yes,
so I can get some idea of what's going on. How do you have sex with all of them? And how do you...
I knew that was going to come. Yeah. Everyone asked.
How do you
he had to warm it up, loosen it up.
Because I'm thinking, this is a lot of work, and sex wears you down after a while, right?
This is true.
And so how do you have sex with 4 women? Do you make dates, or how do you do it?
We're not too mechanical about it. So every business is a person that has to be nurtured. And even in monogamous relationships, people make it their business to engage each other instead of create something effectively in terms of commerce. So where there's idle time, so to speak, there's devil time. The women have their own prospective businesses. It keeps them pretty much busy, keeps me busy, my own business, and then the business that we create together as two, and then the business we create together as a whole.
So you have sex every day or 4 days a week since you have 4 wives?
I don't have sex every day. In fact, I think I have less sex than single men and monogamous men.
So when you get ready to have sex with the other one,
but you see how, again, man, shout out to my fellow coon, Jesse Lee Peterson, because one thing about us coons, we just have so much logic, right? Because see how Jesse Lee doubled back? Because see, many of you don't understand, this is masterful what he's doing. He's laying the trap for him. And he's saying, how could you be this entrepreneur? How can y'all be mothers? How could you be all of these things and have 4 wives? See, this is the same question that I ask. There's only 24 hours in a day. So how are you able to sexually satisfy 4 women? How are you able to emotionally be able to satisfy 4 women? So if you just used a little bit of your brain, you would say to yourself, that's kind of hard to do, to be able to emotionally support all of the children, all of the wives, maintain the business, write 90 pamphlets, run your stock trading course, run your luxury car. How? Oh, all of the wives are each doing it? Each one of them are running a different part of the business? That's interesting. Because when I come to this Instagram page, I don't really see business going on her page. Do y'all see business going on here? Does this look like someone running a business? Does this look like this? Does she look like a person that's running a business? Does she look like a person running a business? Or does this look like a person trying to, advertise their assets? Advertise their assets. Does this look like a business owner? Was she running? Because these are not like her own swimsuit line, right? So she's not like a fashion. She doesn't have like a clothing company because she's wearing designer clothing, right? So what's her business? See, when you look at this and you start understanding how Hollywood operates and how pimping works, if you start looking at the way pimping works, older man go gets a younger woman. Then the other women, they go out here and they recruit other women and you start grooming them. Runaway girls. Girls who are having problems with their mom. Right? This is the grooming. It's how the grooming works. So, you guys are asking yourself, right? Could that individual be the pimp? And could these women be the hoe? Could that be how they went from the video at? Could that be how we went from Bruce Leroy with the karate outfit? Could that be? Could it be? No. Speculating here. Could it be that's how you went from Bruce Leroy, busty, musty, and crusty, to now you got Rolls Royces? Right? Could that be how you went from ashy to classy? See, when you start using your brain, when you start using your third eye, and you start looking at these things, you can start kind of coming and arriving at a conclusion, because you can use circumstantial evidence to lead you to a certain outcome. It looks like pimping to me. I don't see a lot of stock trading going on here. You see stock trading going on here? It don't look like stock trading to me. I don't see any real estate deals going on over here. It don't look like real estate's going on this page to me. Right? Does this look like a real estate deal to you? Right? Are these people trading stock options here? See, when you use your brain, that you was born with, man, you could be dangerous. You could be powerful. You could be the creator of your own blessings in your own life. Looks like escorting to me. If I was a better man, that would look like advertising and escorting to the celebrity friends and mentor. So when you are a celebrity mentor, could that be you are the plug for the hoes, for the celebrities? I mean, some of you say she has a beautiful body. She looks amazing. Right? Is this the advertisement? Questions you got to ask yourself. Right? I'm really woke. Right? Because I'm a coon. See, one thing about coons like me and Jesse Lee Peterson, man, we are powerful because we can look at a lot of this shit and we can say it don't make sense. And that's what Jesse Lee Peterson was highlighting in that interview. Notice how he kept drilling down and asking questions. Right? Now, people think Jesse Lee Peterson is slow, because see, what you have to understand is Jesse Lee Peterson's crowd is mainly right-wing Republicans. And he brings black people on here to make a fool of themselves. They come on his platform and they make an absolute fool of themselves in a mockery. It's a minstrel show. Right? So a lot of you think you going on Jesse Lee Peterson and you making him, see, us coons, we make y'all look stupid. Because we just ask you questions and you answer them. And the audience loves it. It makes black people look so inferior, so stupid, that this man could even be a leader in your community. That this man, many of you come to me and say he's a genius. And then I ask you, what has he built? And you say Elon Musk is a genius. He's flying fucking rockets up to space. That's genius. Vitalik Buterin is a genius. He founded Ethereum. That's genius. Creating something, building something that's going to impact people. This is a low budget pimp, wannabe rapper. And you say, that's genius. Because he got hoes and he got some cars. That's your barometer and measure of intelligence? Come on. And like I said, people like Vlad, Jesse Lee Peterson, they're mocking you. This is why they bring these people on there, because they're mocking you. They want to make a mockery of real black consciousness, real black intelligence. They're mocking you. Because this is a joke. It's a joke. Like someone said, making lease payments on a Rolls Royce, that's genius. Yeah, that's woke. That's woke. Now look at this. Look what Army NC veteran says. Elon Musk hires genius engineers. Yeah, because see, what people understand is intelligent people attract other intelligent people. Right? So when you look at Polight, do you see a team of people? Do you see a team of intelligent people? Do you see intelligent engineers and entrepreneurs? Or do you see a bunch of washed up ass rappers and thotties? Right? Do you see intelligent people? Do you see brilliant engineers? Or do you see a bunch of low budget ass rappers and thotties? Come on. You don't have to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Right? When you look at this stuff, look at this website. This is his business website. Do you see a team of engineers and smart people? I don't see intelligent people. Look at this site. Look at it. Use cryptocurrency. Going to teach you how to grow your portfolio to over $250,000. You see any crypto? How do you know that he's good at crypto? How do you know that he's good at? Excuse me. How do you know that he's good at crypto? Come on, I don't understand how you people can side with that. And what made me make this video is that when I posted this on my Instagram, the comments on here, they're just disgusting.
Garner's attention for his online post, but now the social media influencer, motivational speaker, is making headlines for the wrong reason. NBC6 reporter Kim Nguyen is live in Miami Beach tonight with more on the arrest of the man known as Brother Polight. Kim.
Yeah, well, Jawan, the suspect surrendered here at the Miami Beach Police Department earlier this week. Police charged him with sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl. We did speak with his lawyer earlier tonight, who says that these charges are false. This is the mugshot of 37-year-old Michael Nowak Jr., also known as Brother Polight, to his more than 300,000 Instagram followers. Miami Beach police arrested Nowak this week for alleged sexual battery of a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room in February. Police say the alleged victim was the daughter of a woman he was romantically linked to. Defense attorney David Terrace says his client is innocent.
Once the evidence is produced, that he is going to be exonerated. So, yeah, not guilty, nothing else.
According to the police report, Nowak, a motivational speaker and author who lives in L.A., asked the woman if he could take her daughter to an after party at a club in Miami. The report states Nowak took the teen to his hotel after seeing that the club was closed. Police say the suspect gave the teen alcohol and started dancing and touching the teen inappropriately, groping her breast, inner thighs, and buttocks. It goes on to say Nowak tried to force the teen to perform oral sex on him. The teen allegedly passed out and woke up to Nowak trying to make her throw up.
These are serious allegations, but in any situation, there is always motive. There is always a lot behind the scenes that the public is not going to be able to see.
The report states that the girl's mother found her intoxicated and possibly on drugs, with severe swelling on her mouth and lips. It later states Nowak told the mother not to call police because it would ruin his career. Nowak was served with a DNA warrant in June and surrendered to police on Monday. Terrace says the police report is only an allegation. And Nowak claims to have written more than 90 books. In an interview, he also claims to have several wives. For now, we're reporting live in.
Garner's attention for his
Notice that they didn't refer to him as a investor, as a real estate investor, as a real estate developer, as a financial expert. Notice that they called him an author of 90 books. 90 pamphlets that he's written himself. They're not published through the proper channels, right? These are just 90 books. How do you have time to run multiple businesses, write 90 books, have 4 wives, have multiple... How could you do all of that? It's impossible. It's impossible. But you people eat it up. And that's what Jesse Lee Peterson was highlighting in the interview. Right? Well, look at some of these comments. Five-page books. Mm-hmm. Like I said, notice that they didn't address him as no real estate guru. They didn't do that. So, there's a pattern of behavior here, man. A pattern of behavior. The OBs wrote a book? Yeah. It's crazy, man. Pan God is fallen. His lawyer seems pretty confident. All lawyers are pretty confident. What does that mean? What you think lawyers are professional liars? Defense attorneys are professional liars. Their job is to get you as little time as possible, right? The job of a defense attorney is not to come on in and say, "Yep, my client did some of these things, not all of them." Kim Coleman, we don't know what type of identification Brother Polight has. I don't believe he's 37 or 38 either. You could just look at him. That does not look like a 37, 38-year-old man to me. But remember, again, when you know the right people in the right places, when you can wheel and deal a certain type of way, you can get fake credentials and fake identification. That's not hard to do, right? Go and start studying about the dark web and the things that you can purchase on, the dark net. Right? So, as I said before, I wanted to make this just to show you, like, you can't dismiss these things. Because when you come here and you listen to this girl speak, and she said that she was really young, it's a pattern of behavior. When Sarnetta calls him out, it's a pattern of behavior. When he's hanging with the Nitiyama, it's a pattern of behavior. Right? These are patterns of behavior. Now, if you want to dismiss a pattern of behavior, yes, you're innocent until proven guilty. But that's based in a court of law. In a court of public opinion, you're guilty. Mm-hmm. That's a great question. Eli, do you think there will be an issue with his other wives if they have minor children? That's a great, as it plays out. I don't really know how the legal process plays out in terms of when you are being charged with rape and delinquency of a minor. I don't really know that process. I've never really experienced anything like that, so I don't know personally how that whole process will play out. September 15th he will be going to court and we'll go from there. But like Tony Gunn said, he's proven himself to have a predatory disposition. He's proven himself. His reputation leads him. So people say, well, we just got to wait for the evidence to come out. What about all of the circumstantial evidence that we have now? DNA that is here now. These interviews where the girl's talking about she was really young. Sarnetta calling. What about all of these things? Right? Like Miss Blue Love says, why are people blaming the mother? They were dating over a year. She had no suspicion of him being that way. Y'all are sick. We always blame the victims or the mother of, right? And I want you to understand that. I'm glad you said that. As I said earlier, Black women, I want y'all to look at the people trying to blame you and say that somehow it's your fault. Somehow it's the mother's fault. How could it possibly be the mother's fault? They were dating for over a year. He was not a stranger. Are you telling me that as a stepdad or a guy that's romantically involved with a woman, that you can't be alone around her daughter without raping her? That's what you're trying to tell me? That's the logic? That's the reasoning? Because if she can't trust you around her kid, then why should she even date you? And understand that no pervert, no pedophile, no rapist is going to come out and say, hey girl, my name is Brother Polight, and I'm here to rape your daughter. Right? No pedophile is going to do that. Right? No pedophile is going to just come to you and say, yeah, hey, I'm, by the way, I'm here to rape your daughter. No. Okay, we are reconnected. Let's see if we're back on. Let's see if we're back. Okay. We're back. So Judy Jones says, but if you know of prior allegations made by others, i.e. Sonetta, why not have a healthy suspicion? What happened to not trusting most men around your daughter, considering how we know molestation is real? The problem with that, Judy Jones, is this. Number one, follow me here. A lot of people don't follow YouTube like that. A lot of people are not on the internet to know these things. A lot of people are not engaged and following every single day the drama that may be happening within the conscious community. So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. They don't know about Polight's past. Like, for example, my YouTube audience is bigger than my Instagram audience. There are people on Instagram, when I was live yesterday, they don't even know about what Sonetta said. They don't know about the Jesse Lee Peterson interview. They don't know about these things. There's a lot of people who don't know about Polight and the things that he's been engaged in. They don't. That's why it's important for people with platforms to speak about the things that they do know. This is why it's important to speak up about these things. Now, if you believe that molestation is real, and I believe it's very real because we have the data, this is why I'm making these videos. Because I was shocked when I start looking at the data. I did not know that Black women have to deal with this type of stuff to this degree, which is why I couldn't sleep the other day when I was looking at the comments. I was shocked that so many Black men are rapists and pedophiles and perverts. It is shocking to me. So understand that this is why awareness is important, because you start looking at these numbers and you start going, damn. In our community, this is a serious problem. So I'm not going to put the blame on the mother for not being aware of this, because some people just are not aware. Which is why we need to bring awareness to these issues. We should make it comfortable for victims to come forward, right? We shouldn't shame victims. We shouldn't blame victims, and we shouldn't blame mothers for not knowing. We should be trying to build bridges so people can feel comfortable to come forward and speak. Right? That's what we should be doing, right? We should be elevating and holding up people in the community that have been through this, so that they can then educate you on things, so that you can now be aware of this stuff. Because that's where I'm at with this. I'm to the point now where I'm going to be very, very cognizant and aware and alert to what's going on here, because I realized that, like, yo, a lot of people are part of cults, a part of sex cults. Abusing children is something that is big. Yes, Vanity's Mirror. I'm not combing through the internet for YouTuber business. This is national news. That's why I know now. Exactly. Most people don't know. They don't. So I can see how the mother could be dating him and not know that these allegations are out here. That still doesn't make it right for what he did. And now that we're raising awareness for this, now more women now could potentially be alert. Right? Think about it. Listen what people are saying. Holding the mother accountable. Are you telling me that as a mother that's dating a man, that I will be held accountable because I can't leave my alleged boyfriend alone with my child? Do you understand how crazy that sounds? I just want you to think about that. Do you understand how crazy you sound when you say that? If a mother has to think that about a man, then she shouldn't be dealing with the man. If you have any inclination that you think a man could abuse a child, then you shouldn't even be with that man. So I deeply disagree with anyone saying a mother should use discernment. If the mother has to use that type of discernment, then she shouldn't even be dealing with the man. Come on, come on, guys. We gotta grow, man. Right? Look at this person. Right? Right? So the person says, so the mom is absolutely in part to blame. How? How as a mother, you're the blame because your boyfriend, who you've been dating for a year, snuck off with your daughter and the mother is to blame? Wow. 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 Look at the person, right? Person says, I'm a mother of a 15-year-old. So let me get this straight. You would be dating a man. I just want to get this logic. You're dating a man, but you're fearful of leaving your daughter around the man that you're dating. So then why are you dating the man? I just want to, I want to ask you that question. You're a mother that's dating a man and you have your 15-year-old. Why are you dating a man that you believe could potentially molest your daughter? Maybe you can help me out. Maybe you can help me out. Like, I'm going to help me out. You're a mother that's dating a man and you feel that the man could potentially do something to your kid. Then why are you with him? Mm-hmm. Right? Wow. Again, like I said, women, I just want y'all to see the mentality of a lot of people in our community, man. It's crazy here, man. Why on earth would the mother date him? The same reason why Brother Polight has 310,000 followers, right? A lot of you are impressionable. The same reason why Crypto Roots gave him $90,000. Because he's a scammer, a schemer, and a deceiver, and a manipulator. And some people are broken people. They're looking for a savior, right? This is why part of being conscious and consciousness is we use these platforms to raise the consciousness of people. To show them that, hey, maybe the way that what you're looking for and what you're doing and who you're letting into your life isn't good for you. Right? Maybe you shouldn't desire the things that you desire. Yeah, rest in peace to Crypto Roots, man. It's sad that he went out the way that he did. Fair perspective, I want you to understand that the 14-year-old never stepped foot in a nightclub. The 14-year-old never went to a nightclub. She never stepped foot in a nightclub. 14-year-olds can't get in nightclubs. She never went to a nightclub. She never went into a nightclub. Because 14-year-olds can't get in nightclubs. Look what Increased Crew said. You obsessed with Polight, bottom line. So, if we come here to my YouTube channel, right? Come here to my YouTube channel. Let's, because clearly you're a troll, right? But let's just, right? Let's prove a point to you. So, if we come here, right? We come here. Let's look at my page. How many Polight videos do you see on my page? 1, 2. How many non-Polight videos do you see on my page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Need I keep going? So I have 28 videos here that I just counted that are not Polight, that's not Polight content, and 2 videos that isn't. So this is where we at, man. It's where we are. Cavity. Polight is guilty in my opinion, of course. Let's see what R is saying. It's necessary. Let's see about the bag. M. Woods Robertson says, I've learned a lot tonight, and it's not good news. What did India say? Looking at some of these comments. Everybody ain't gonna make it, bro. Bring it about the bag. Crypto Roots passed away from asthma. His wife reported that he passed away in the hospital. He had asthma. and she didn't have access to his private keys. Intergalactic wit, I agree with you. It's frustrating being a critical thinker among fools and idiots. It's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But, gotta do what you gotta do, man. Me personally, I'm not going to be covering this as aggressive as I have been for the past 4 days. Even if new information come out, unless it's just some extremely damning information in either direction. I owe it to my students and the people who are paying me to focus on crypto and focus on coding and stuff like that. I really just wanted to, again, use my platform because I did talk about Polight in the past. About 2 weeks ago, like a month ago, a few of you had asked me where do I see Polight in the coming years, and I said it during that live stream. I said I see Polight going to jail. And people was like, I must be some type of an oracle, because I predicted it. Because I can just look at it. Polight's very predatory in nature, and there's a lot of the reason why I could say that about Polight, and I could see it in him because he reminds a lot of my cousins and uncles. They're a lot of people who grow up in what is known as the quote unquote hood, the ghettos, the jails. They believe in that, getting over, finessing, preying on people, and they go after the most vulnerable people possibly to prey on. They don't go after strong people or hard people that it would be hard for them to exploit. They go after the easy people. So So this person, New Clean Green Innovation, says, yo, in peace from North Cal. Look, man, we as a people have to evolve. It's not just black, it's white, it's good versus evil. Okay. I never said that white people weren't evil or that there aren't white pedophiles and perverts. I never said that. So you you told me something revolutionary there. You told me something I didn't know. There's Hispanic people that are perverts and pedophiles and bad people, right? Who said that there weren't? I never said that. Thanks for stating the obvious. Oh, look, there's bad people of all creeds and colors and races. No shit, Sherlock. We know that. But all of them, right, they're not as big as Polight, right? All of them don't have the history preceding Polight. All of them are not going on these big platforms and speaking, and then the people with the platforms not holding them accountable. So the reason why we're talking about Polight is because the severity of the charges and the fact that all of this information has been out here for so long, and he's been allowed to be out here, and people not screaming to the high heavens about it, right? So this is why we cover the Polight situation. Secondly, the reason why I'm focusing on the black aspect of it is because I'm a black man, and most of the people whom I interact with on a daily basis are other black people. So guess what? I don't give a damn about what white people are doing. I don't give a fuck about what a Mexican pedophile is doing because I don't come into contact with that many people. My mother is black. My brothers are black. My sister is black. My family is black. So therefore, I'm going to speak about the black aspect because most likely, if you look at the statistics, one of my family members that's a black woman will most likely be impacted by some type of a pedophile, weirdo, pervert. So this is why I focus on the black aspect of it. Because black people claim, especially within the conscious community, to be conscious. So the last thing that you would expect from a conscious community is for them to be willingly standing next to a person that is grooming underage girls, that is running off with underage girls. That's why we cover the black aspect of it. Does that make sense to you now? Can you comprehend that part? Do you see why people are outraged about it? Because this is a man who claims to have a lot of knowledge of self. Come on, man. Like, come on. It's grooming. It's predatory. That's why we talk about it, why we speak about it, so that now people can be enlightened in their personal lives, so that they can protect their children, their daughters, their sons from being victimized. That's why we talk about the black aspect. Okay? All of these men bragging and boasting about women can't get a man. No, some of us have been hurt so bad we don't want or trust who you are for real, for real. And what you do clearly is our fault in the end. I can't get on board with that. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and blame black women for the fuckery that black men are doing. I'm just not going to do that. As I said earlier, do I believe that women set men up? Absolutely. We got the girl Brittany Renner. She set the dude PJ Washington up. That's a basketball player to have a baby by him. Women prey on men all the time. Keyword, women. We're not talking about a woman here. We're talking about a 14-year-old girl here, right? And the level of mental gymnastics that you would have to play with yourself for you to believe that a mother, right, would be able to get Polight semen and rub it on her daughter's face and then drug her daughter and then get her daughter drunk and then bust up her daughter's mouth and swell it up and then take her to a hospital to get a rape kit is insane. It doesn't make any sense. Okay? And we have to stop making these false equivalency arguments. Well, look where Bill Cosby's situation was completely different than Polight's situation. Right? Completely different. A 14-year-old can't consent to sex in the state of Florida. Even if the 14-year-old was trying to, let's say, because I know what some of you go, oh, she was being a fast at. Even if she was, even if she threw herself at Polight, he should have enough restraint not to do it. We're not talking about being in a club and you're drinking and the girl lie about her age. No, we're talking about the fact of you've known this girl for over a year. So you know that she's 14, right? It ain't like you just met her and the CIA sent the agent at you. No, you know for a fact that she's 14. Right? Right? And then where was your daughter at? Where was Mayat at? Right? So we know where we're going, man. Get rid of you, increase crew, because you're just trolling right now. Ha, I like that vanity's mirror. I like that. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. No little girl is fast enough to catch a man that doesn't want her. That sums it up right there. That sums it up right there. I want to read that again. No little girl is fast enough to catch a man that doesn't want her. So even if she was fast, as a man, you shouldn't want her. That right there is how you end the live stream. I'm going to wrap this up here. As I said, just to recap for a lot of you who may have been coming in later on, understand that when you go to this Jesse Lee Peterson interview, I'm going to play this for you right now so that we can be clear on what's being stated here. How can you defend Polight as being innocent when he has a history of being predatory in terms of scamming, stealing, and scheming on black people and grooming underage girls? So let's recap that so we can wrap it up.
You're exposed to.
Right, that's right.
Initially. Like, we don't learn this in school.
Right. And so what was your first impression, your first thought when you got it?
The first thought I actually had was, I was just like, does she know?
Right.
That was my first thought. It was natural because
that's right.
When I started coming, I was really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
Really young. So I actually looked.
How old were you at the time?
I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
I was 16, 17. My mother used to go to the bookstore. And so I seen them two together and I was just like really happy for them. She was pregnant and she looked gorgeous. Like, she just...
Right. Pattern of behavior, right? Then we have Sonetta coming out here and making those accusations about him.
Yeah, right? Kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renentet? You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga. Little fucking Dr. York.
Right? And now we know that the girl that he's talking about, that's her right here. And we know this because it's on Polight's channel, right? Polight's daughters, right? Meshkinet and Renentet, right here. This is the girl that he's alleged ran away with Polight. Right there in the flesh. 2013. Right? So understand, there's a pattern of behavior here. There's accusations here. Now we have DNA. Right? We have him calling Dr. York his God, his Messiah. Right? Then we have him with this man right here, the divine madman. Right? Here they go again, sitting on a couch, talking about an orgasm throughout the throat. See? I mean, and guys, this is just some of the information. Remember, I have more information that I have to verify. I have personal accounts of women who have dealt with Polight. Like, there's so much information out here. People say, "Oh, I can do 5-hour live streams all day long breaking this down." His master teacher right here, Dr. York, pleading guilty to 30+ counts of child molestation. These are not like how much circumstantial evidence do you need? How can we keep linking so much predatory behavior to one man? Underage girls to one man. Sex cults to one. How could this much information be out here and you not think it's a problem? At a certain point, you have to start saying it's a problem. Now, again, I can't sit up here and talk about this stuff every day. I can't. I also I don't want to. It it bothers my spirit to talk about this type of stuff, because I've been enlightened. This has made me question a lot of things that I think. I've been awakened. I never knew that there were so many men who sympathize with pedophiles and perverts. Right? All of this, like I never knew. So, I'm definitely going to, really start changing the way I think and who I interact with, and being more mindful of a lot of things and aware. But like Kim Coleman said, it's because a lot of these people, they want to be these people, man. Right? And I like what Real Recognize Real said, right? The problem is worldwide it is. Because when you look at Epstein, the fact that Epstein, right? The fact that Epstein had pictures with presidents and senators and congressmen and women and businessmen, and they had Pedophile Island, like going after children is a big thing. It's a big thing. It's a big business. It's lucrative. Right? So when I see this stuff, it definitely brings a lot of awareness to me and how I'm going to be going forward. So, but again, like I said, I'm going to get back to the crypto stuff, get back to talking about the economy and things of that nature. But this just is a major wake up call to me, man. A major wake up call for me. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I want everyone to have a blessed and beautiful night, man. Be safe, be aware, be alert, question everything in regards to who you listen to. When a person's telling you all this new age stuff, ask yourself, are you joining a cult? Are you really getting knowledge? Or are you going here to be groomed into something, right? Think about that. Have a good night.